Good evening. Uh, this is the 15th of May, 2021, about quarter after 6 at night from Vernon, British Columbia. Very nice day, about 80 degrees Fahrenheit today, and very sunny and very nice spring day. Couldn't beat it. But that's not the condition of the world, is it? I'm watching TV here today, and I'm watching the bombardment of Gaza and Israel, and started with the Palestinians shooting rockets into, I don't know, Tel Aviv or wherever it is, and just, I don't know how many, but a ton of rockets in there. And they don't cause as much damage as you think, but they do cause, they've killed a couple people and they've destroyed some buildings, I believe, and some other things. And the Israelis retaliate to beat hell, and they blow buildings up, and make it very costly for the Palestinians to do this. But you know, it's just unbelievable right now the kind of world we live in. Oh, man. Had to drop the mouse. Just had to do it. Ah, give me a minute here. Yeah. Well. Okay, we're back again. uh, the thing is, you see something going on like that in Israel, and that's a biblical place with all kinds of stuff going on there over history, and it keeps getting worse, and uh, all kinds of different countries and people are against Israel, and there Israel is just this tiny little country, and you know, it doesn't make any sense why the people of the world should be so against Israel. And it's only because, I guess, I don't know why really, but it's a fact that hatred or whatever you want to call it for well, especially the Palestinians and Arabs and whatever are against Israel. They try to, well, Iran wants to erase them off the map, and other countries in there say they're going to do that. God says, not quite. You're not going to do it until I say you can. And you know, the whole thing is just sort of unfolding in front of us. The other thing that is unfolding in front of us right now is, I don't know about Europe. I mean, they're most likely got their problems too. And India has got big problems with this COVID. Millions of people being infected and dying. China doesn't tell you what's going on. But the United States, the way it's going, it is absolutely on a destructive course. There's no doubt about it that I can see. The right now, day just day in and day out, you get bombarded by the people that run the United States now are all leftists, and they're trying to switch it over to a socialist state, Marxist state, and just all of a sudden that's what it is. And the people that are against it are out, bloody near outnumbered by the media and all the, I can't understand how they want to destroy their own country. But they're just doing it. It's in Isaiah, I forget what chapter it is or whatever, but it says that woe to those who call evil good and good evil. That's exactly what's going on. Exactly. Right to a T, that's what's going on. Now that means that the United States could end up in a real chamaz of some kind. It's politically 50-50 in there. And if the United States collapses, goes down for some reason, which, it really shouldn't, but it could, and it most likely will, because God says, I will break the pride of your power. And the United States has been a very, bragging, prideful nation. And it's most likely that's what's causing their problem. But if that happens, here in Canada, we're connected to the hip here. What happens to them will happen to us. There's no doubt about it. But it's because of rebellion against God and against Jesus Christ. That is basically what it is. You see it. I see it around a town like Vernon, a little town, 40,000, 50,000 people. How the changes happen. My own family, wants to go the way of the world. My daughter supports abortion. She supports gay lifestyle. Supports her son being gay. God doesn't. No. It's absolutely against God's plan, God's will. Those things are terrible. But they are like mainstream now. She wasn't brought up to believe that, but she does it to conform to this society we live in. And to conform with that and be one of the, people that I don't know, well, to be the modern way or whatever else. I guess that's how she thinks, She's been seduced into that. Terrible. And, obviously I can't go along with that, so I'm being shut out of my own family. I don't have a family anymore on account of that. But I can't. I have to live with that. I can't go for that. It's not my idea. I'm not trying to change anything. She is, and her husband is, and her son is, and different ones. They want to believe in. I don't know what they want to believe in. Actually, it's a sad thing. It's sad, and yet it's. Uh, at my age, 87 years old. I mean, what the heck? I mean, I've seen quite a bit, and I've seen where the world did not do that at all. And uh, but I think anyone who's reasonable enough to open their eyes and look at things should realize that we're being driven by forces that are not good. They call evil good, and they call good evil. 180-degree turnaround in everything. And that's in the last few years. Predicted, prophesied thousands of years ago that this was going to happen. And it's happening exactly like it said it's going to happen. So what is a person supposed to do? Is he supposed to try to get people to believe that that's not the right way to go? And God's way is the right way? And, God won't be threatened in any way. What he says goes. Even if it's 1,000 years ago, he said it's going to happen, and that's how it's going to happen. And it's happening according to a plan, and it's got to be his plan. His total plan for the universe, for the earth, for all the people on the earth, and how they're going to be sorted out, and how the thing is, God does things different than mankind does. God does not do things like man thinks to do. Man, God doesn't need F-35s and cruise missiles, things like that. He doesn't need that at all. But anyway, today watching the news here, watching the buildings being destroyed in Palestine, and watching the rockets flying into Tel Aviv, it means that people really hate each other. And they're willing to start wars and be killed and destroyed and everything else. And they do. They kill and destroy themselves and do it and know they're going to be destroyed. So, who do you agree with? I have to agree with the Israelis because that is God's promised land. He promised that to them, gave them that land a long time ago. So they're going to have, he says, God has said he's going to make Jerusalem a heavy stone for the world. And imagine it will be. I don't know how it can happen, but it's going to happen. Where, I mean, huge armies are going to come against it. The armies around it, they have defeated them 2 or 3 times. So there's going to be huge armies come around. And they're going to do it because God says that that land belongs to, He's given it to the Jews, not just to the Jews, but the 10 tribes of Israel. The Jews are one tribe of Israel. And the white race in this world is, as far as I can tell, has to be the remnant of the 10 tribes of Israel. And there can be no other way to explain it. And the white race, well, in the United States now, they're trying to, all the blacks and the Latinos, and not all of them, but they're trying to, the ones that are trying to, the left wing ones are trying to make the white race guilty of whatever they can, to try to make them, and they're doing it. They're going to make them, even though they're in the majority and they're the founding race of the United States. And I don't know how many there are, but there's over 330 million people in the United States now. A lot of them brown and black. But the white race is still in the majority, but I don't think by much anymore. But to make it, to try to twist it so that it's, to make them guilty for being a white race, that's dirty. Yep, that's evil. But the white race is, well, not just in the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, Great Britain, Scotland and Wales, and a certain amount in South Africa and Australia and New Zealand. There's hard medicine coming down the road. And I don't think we're going to be able to change a thing. It's going to come with such vengeance. And I mean, Canada is a big, rich country with a few people in it, and the ones who are running it now, who have power now, are same left-wing kind of people. And they're going to keep control of it one way or the other. They'll cheat or whatever to do it. In the United States, that's exactly what they did to get rid of Donald Trump. They had to cheat to beat him. They couldn't beat him. And now they're going to make sure that he can't run again or do anything. They're going to try to make sure of that because they are afraid of him. There's no doubt about that. And I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with him. And they're trying every way they can to indict him for whatever. They're trying to look at his taxes over the back years, if they can come up with something there, or whatever. They're trying their darndest to do it. And I don't know if he's going to survive, because how is he, unless God has decided he's going to survive, maybe, but They're trying to look into the election and figure it out. And they are absolutely stonewalling the people that are looking into it. They won't give them information. They won't. They're trying to get them to cancel it. They don't want to look into it because they know. Well, I mean, it's obviously that they cheated like crazy to get enough votes. It's sad. That really is sad, you know, when the world gets like this. And you know, if it is coming to a close, I'm pretty positive of that. I mean, you have to say that. Well, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take, or what way it's going to go, but there's too many things against it getting better. It's just going to get terribly, terribly worse. And when man gets control of, uh, the people who are antichrist, basically get control. They don't want to have anything to do with God or Jesus Christ or anything like that. And that's it makes me wonder how people can be that stupid to turn down such a gift of eternal life in a perfect spiritual body to live with God and Jesus Christ forever. Why do they turn that down? Is it Satan's influence in the world that's doing it, or becoming stronger? Some of it maybe is that. I'm pretty sure there's some of that. But it's most likely in God's plan that that's what's going to take place. That's how it's going to wind down. The I can just see my own situation. I mean, I get blamed for not going along with things like gay rights and gay stuff and whatever else, because I won't change. I won't go with it. I say no, I won't. God wasn't. I mean, it's not just because God is against that and destroyed. He actually destroyed cities over that. And as an example, I guess, to show people how bad he looks at that. I mean, there's all kinds of sin people do, but that's one that he definitely is very, very bad. He hates it. He says it's an abomination. He says that they will revert to a reprobate mind, which means a reprobate mind is what he's saying is that it's a mind that has no remorse for anything, no shame, no nothing. You can do whatever it likes. It doesn't have any shame for anything. And when it doesn't have any shame or remorse for anything, it will just live its own way, any way it likes, without a smidgen of conscience. And if that's the case, then there's no reason for them to ask God for forgiveness, because they don't care. They don't believe that, and they don't care about God. And if they don't ask for forgiveness, then they condemn themselves. That's the problem. That's what God has said. He's going to let them have a reprobate mind, which means they're going to condemn themselves. He's not going to have to do it. They're doing it to themselves. Because he's going to save a lot of people, because You know, he says that if you believe that I sent Jesus into this world to pay the penalty for the sins of mankind from the beginning to the end. And he says, if you believe that, you will be saved. In other words, it's not a question of sin or doing wrong. That's been looked after because every one of us does that. That's been looked after. If you believe, and I don't know why, it's the strangest thing that God says you can only be saved. I will only save you if you believe that I've done this and you believe that I exist and you believe that I'm God. Now, only he can do this because he knows exactly what I believe. And he knows exactly what you believe. You can't fool him. You can't put in a good deed or something to cover you or pay or build points up or something like that. No, nobody can do anything. Only God does it by people's belief in him and their trust in him. Oh, I mean, I don't know how long it is before people will lose the choice to, or the chance to even hear about it or get it, because that could be gone pretty soon. I mean, they're making it so that anybody speaking about God's will or God's, religion or whatever, they're going to call it hate speech, and that's coming. And you'll be guilty of hate speech if you say something. Yeah. Can you imagine what's going to happen when the big test comes with this Antichrist, who will be taking over the world, running the world? First 3.5 years of it, it'll be all kinds of good deals and blah blah blah, and then he'll change it to a deal where you, that's very close, getting rid of cash, no cash, getting rid of money, and you have to have a number to buy or sell. Now, you have to be honest with yourself and say, will you take the mark? If you take the mark, God condemns you. You're condemned. If you don't take the mark, you'll starve to death or whatever. Yet God says he will protect people. Oh, I don't know. I imagine there's ways he can do that. So, I cannot see people in my daughter's generation and whatever else, and my son's generation too, how they will justify not taking the mark of the beast and the number of his name. They don't want to, they don't want to starve and they don't want to be shut out. They'll do it. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot that are going to do that. When it comes down to it, the choice will have to be made. The choice you make will determine whether you live or die in the future. The people won't look at it that way because a lot of them don't even believe it. But I believe it, and I think I'm on good footing because what he's been talking about has been around for thousands of years, and everything he's said has happened, has come about. No questions at all about that. You can argue all you like. God leaves the opportunity open for people to pray to Him, to to ask Him for ask Him for things promised, and He answers prayer. He will answer prayer. Maybe not everything, but whatever is His will, He will answer. And Jesus is going to be the judge. That's for sure. So, man, talk about a time in the history of mankind that we're living in. Hard choices to make. And yet, there's only one way. Jesus said, nobody comes to the Father except by me. Nobody. All the other businesses or religions and beliefs are. But I'm quite sure God has a plan that does cover a lot of things that we don't know about. But anyway, when I'm watching TV today, and the way the world is going, and it is getting absolutely incrementally worse. The thing is, the United States is just getting to be so it's going, and they keep on it, it's not going to be long before there's going to be a collapse. Either monetary collapse, something is going to happen. I kind of think it could be. Things have gone absolutely ridiculous now. Money's worth nothing. Houses are. When I started Desert Cove in 1989, first house I sold for Desert Cove was $69,900. Brand new house, 1,400 square feet, a corner lot with double garage. Good sized lot too. Now we're selling houses for $600,000. Same lot. How do you explain that? I can't explain that. And yet they buy them. People are buying them. Now, that is not sustainable in my view. I can't believe that's sustainable. You know, I had the opportunity to build a little town, city, whatever you want to call it. It'll be close to 1,000 people when this last subdivision is done. And it'll be 451 homes. So it'll be over 900 people, around 900. Oh man, I've been thankful for the fact that I got the chance to do that because I had a chance to do that without any hindrance practically from anyone. I could build stuff left and right. I didn't need all the permits and stuff because it's on the reserve. And before now they've made it more difficult, you know. You have to have all kinds of engineers, all kinds of stuff this last go around. And it sure didn't help anything. All it did, it made it more expensive. But got by with that. Waiting for power next week. We have 14 houses on the go with no power, no nothing. everything else is in. So what is there to say? I'm saying that the way the world's going, I think it's, it's really incumbent that if people would, accept what God has said, what Jesus Christ has said, and believe them and be upfront about it, no doubt. It took me a long time, but I finally got to have no doubt, no repercussions in my mind about what's going to happen or whatever. It's finally settled in my mind. What a relief that was. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. I mean, it's awful to go along not knowing what you believe in. Anyway, I've got to stop here. Thank you very much for listening.